Hi guys! Yes, I'm shooting on my webcam because my camera died and I'm kind of on a time crunch. And yes, we're actually shooting in my room space, first ever. And yes, I'm not wearing my glasses because this is what it would look like if I was. You can't see my eyes. Pretty eyes. A little over a month ago, I did a video on my top 10 favorite Disney animated movies, and in the comments, a viewer and subscriber asked if I could do a top 10 least favorite Disney movies, and I said yes. Now, as much as I love Disney, because you guys know how much I love Disney, they have made some stinkers, and boy, do these smell. So here we go with my top 10 least favorite Disney animated movies. This is going to either be really fun or pure torture. So let's just get it over with. Number 10 is actually a tie or a twofer kind of thing because both movies I have similar complaints about. And it's Dumbo and 2011's Winnie the Pooh. Now, before you flame me or get mad at me or whatever, Alex, just know that I do like both of these movies and I don't think either one of them is bad. I just think there's not a lot to them. They're very cute, they're very simple, they both have nice animation, but other than the cuteness, other than the simplicity, there's really not much else to them. There's not a lot of depth, which a lot of other Disney movies have. There's something lacking in them. Doesn't mean that they're bad. It doesn't mean every Disney movie needs to be profound or have a message or whatever. But it's nice to know that there's something in there that I can take out of as an adult. But they're both cute, both good movies, not bad at all. It's just, there's better out there. Number 9 is The Black Cauldron. This movie is just not very good. There's some good things about it. The animation's alright. And there's a lot of darker, scarier images in there, which I think that's definitely what they were going for. The Horned King is definitely really creepy, but there's not a lot of substance. It's kind of dumb. I don't quite get the cult following this movie has. I know a lot of people like it. I don't. I think a lot of the characters are either not very engaging or downright annoying. The main character in particular, and that Gollum furry thing, he was really annoying, I'm sorry. The ending was really dumb. Some of it was just, it just didn't work. Number 8 is The Fox and the Hound. Now, I think this movie is just really uneven. There's really nice parts of The Fox and the Hound, and there's things that I enjoy. I really enjoy that relationship between Todd and Copper. I thought they were really cute, and that was definitely the heart of the movie, and they pretty much got that right. I also really liked the ending. I thought they did a really good job on the ending. It was emotional and it was exciting, and you know, it got me right here. But other than that, there's a lot of things that missed. In a lot of pre-Disney Renaissance animated films, they tended to do a lot of sidetracking kind of thing. They would dedicate whole scenes, last as long as maybe 5-10 minutes, on just superfluous, unneeded stuff that just didn't add anything to the plot or to the characters. In fact, it took away from the characters or the plot. What I'm talking about is the birds and trying to get the worm, and it didn't work. I didn't care about these birds or the worm, and there's multiple scenes in which they do this, and it just detracts from the film, from the characters that I would like to learn more about. Also, there were some decisions made in the film that I didn't think made sense. I didn't understand why, after the mean old hunter dude told the old lady that if he saw Todd again he would kill him, and then she just lets him go. Like, if someone threatened my kitties like that, I would, 1, kick him in the butt, and then 2, I would hold them so close to me and never let them go because someone said they might hurt them. If they saw them again, I would make sure they never saw them again because they're my babies. It was just really uneven and some of it didn't work. The bad stuff was too bad. Number 7 is DINOSAUR. DINOSAUR, the biggest problem with it is that it's just boring. It didn't leave any impact on me whatsoever. The characters are boring. The story is boring. I didn't care about it or the characters at all. They're all kind of generic, cookie cutter kind of characters that, you know, just could be in any film. It didn't feel like the story they were telling was all that important, and it was just boring. It wasn't a terrible film, but it didn't do anything for me. I mean, the film looks nice. For Disney's first fully animated CG work, it looks really nice. And the score is also really, really nice. But other than that, the film, it's just boring. Number 6 is Brother Bear. Brother Bear, I think, is kind of the opposite of how I feel for DINOSAUR, in which DINOSAUR just made me feel really apathetic and really lethargic and whatever. Brother Bear actually got me angry. For the most part, the movie's okay. The animation was really nice, and I did feel that there was kind of a connection. I did kind of feel bad for Coda. I thought he was kind of cute, but that ending. My main problem with the ending is that Kenai decided to stay a bear. My main problem with that is that no point in the movie did he have any desire to stay a bear at all. Up until the point where he decided to stay a bear, he said, I want to turn back into a human. If the film had at certain points given him some doubt about turning back into a human, or maybe having a really fun time being a bear, so he was like, oh, I'm gonna miss this, then it would have been okay. But they didn't. So it didn't make any sense, and so it just came out of nowhere. Thematically, it would actually make more sense if he turned back into a human and then took care of Coda as a human, because the whole movie is about the conflict between man and bear, and what better way to resolve that conflict by having Kenai, a man, taking care of Coda, a bear. Them living in harmony. That would make much more sense, and though it would be kind of bittersweet, it would be much more fulfilling thematically. Brother Bear infuriated me. Number 5 is The Sword in the Stone. The Sword in the Stone is interesting in that Disney could have done so much with the Arthurian legend. Instead, they chose to tell this particular story. And this also suffers from the whole syndrome of not dedicating enough time to its characters and making scenes too long, making scenes just not meaningful. Nothing in this movie really meant anything. There was absolutely no plot, and sometimes it's not a bad thing. Look at Alice in Wonderland. That movie has no plot, but they're still trying to say something. You do get the sense that the animators know what they're doing, the storytellers know what they're doing, and it's plotless on purpose. This movie kind of felt like it was trying to tell something, but it just felt really aimless and pointless. From a storytelling perspective, it could have been a lot tighter and a lot stronger. The film's just really aimless and just not very good. Number 4 is Oliver and Company. I didn't feel anything from this movie. When I came out of watching it, I just sat there thinking, why? Why was this movie made? Not every Disney movie has to have a grand purpose, or make a statement, or have a message, but I want to know that the film I'm watching was worthwhile. I felt no emotion. I felt no heart. And I think that's a big problem, because most Disney movies are basically ingrained with is tons of heart and emotion and passion. And when it's devoid of that, it feels so lackluster and feels so weird. Number 3 is the Aristocats. The Aristocats, there's some good things about it. I thought the animation was okay. The music was really good. I liked the music for the most part. I mean, you really can't go wrong with the Sherman Brothers. They're awesome. But the characters just bothered me. Mostly because I didn't understand their motivations at all. These guys weren't just rich, they were aloof, like, and really strangely so. Like, it was just odd seeing how calm they were about being kidnapped. They didn't freak out, no one cried, no one got mad, there was no emotion out of these characters, so it just seemed like they were just high and mighty and privileged, and it was kind of annoying. And speaking of annoying, Thomas O'Malley was a big jerk. I could not stand that character at all. It also had the problem that I mentioned earlier with the Fox and the Hound and the scenes that took away from the characters. I'm talking about the butler and the dog chase scenes. They lasted, I swear to you, 10 minutes long when they could have only lasted 2. Yeah, they were kind of funny, and yeah, it was kind of actiony, so it's a little bit exciting. It got old after that 2-minute mark. All you needed was 2 minutes. And then you could have dedicated the rest of that to the main characters, which were seriously lacking. And the movie was just blah and boring, and aside from the songs, there's really not that much great about it. Number 2 is Home on the Range. I have not met anyone who enjoys this movie, who has looked forward to seeing this movie. It's terrible. It is awful. It's annoying. The characters are stupid. It's just so dumb. I just want to know who thought it was a good idea to make this movie. It's not a family movie. It's barely a kids movie. You know, Disney is usually very good about treating their audience like they're intelligent, making films that both kids and adults can enjoy, and making substantive films. It treats its audience like they're dumb, and that's hardly ever the Disney way. I'm ashamed of this movie a little bit. It's ugly, it's annoying, and it's loud, and it has no business existing under the Disney name at all. Now, before we get to number 1, I want to talk about films I actually like. So think of this as my top 5 other favorite Disney movies. So number 5 is Big Hero 6. It's cute, it's fun, it has a lot of heart, and Baymax is everything. Number 4 is Mulan. Mulan is my favorite Disney princess. She kicks butt. The movie's kind of epic. Wish there were more songs, but you know, it's alright. Number 3 is Fantasia. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's classic. If you haven't seen Fantasia, go see Fantasia. Number 2 is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's uneven, but the good parts are great. The music is wonderful, thank you Alan Menken, and the animation is gorgeous, and it's an underrated gem. Number 1 is The Little Mermaid. This is a classic, it's wonderful. I have my misgivings about Ariel being a role model, but the music is superb. Thank you to Howard Ashman and Alan Menken. Ugh, they're great. Little Mermaid is a classic, and it's wonderful. Alright. I guess we gotta talk about it, don't we? My least favorite Disney movie, ever and always, is Chicken Little. It is the most mean-spirited animated film I've ever seen, and it's coming out of Disney. It's ugly. None of the characters have any redeemable qualities, and it's just the dad. The dad is the worst parent I've ever seen in a Disney movie, and that's including Mother Gothel and the evil stepmother, you know, Snow White and Cinderella. He's worse than that, because he claims to be a loving father, but he treats his son like dirt. He's selfish, he's self-centered, and not a good father at all, and the movie didn't have to be that mean. Every time I think about it, I get a little sick inside knowing that this movie came out of Disney. This was the lowest point in Disney animation. By far, it is terrible. I never want to look at Chicken Little, I never want to hear about Chicken Little, and I never, ever want to talk about Chicken Little again. So that was my top 10 least favorite Disney movies. I hope you had fun watching me being tortured. So, what are your least favorite Disney movies? I would definitely like to know. What are your favorite Disney movies? So leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next week, hopefully with a better camera, with my glasses on, and not in my room. Bye! Mwah!